Hey Hunter, it's Dr. Scott. Has some feedback for you on that draft that you uploaded earlier today. I'm really just going to kind of go to down here where you're talking about blame. I think you could talk about emotion, you could talk about credibility with that essay or with that speech. You would need to have some kind of reason why you're going to talk about those two appeals, like why are they so important for the audience that you're going to write about. So I think doing a bit of research about who was he speaking to, what were these folks thinking about at that time, I think that that's important to help you determine whether or not he was persuasive and why emotion and credibility were so important for that audience. I did want to say something about blame, because I think that's an interesting idea to write about, and I haven't seen anybody do it, but I think you've got something there. Like, he uses blame quite a bit in his essay, and it has, as a result, it has appeals to emotion. Like, he tries to, he attempts to blame different groups for the situation that African Americans are in at that time. He talks about the government, he talks about the political parties, he even talks about Martin Luther King, he talks about and blames the nonviolent approach to civil rights. So I think that you might have something there. I wonder if that might be the thing that kind of connects the dots. I think you could definitely do that for emotion. I'm not sure about credibility. There might be something there, but blame seemed like something you could kind of build an essay around. It seems like you have a lot of introductory information here, some background about him. Background about him specifically is going to be important when you're talking about credibility, I think. Background about what people were upset about at the time, I think, is going to be important for talking about emotion. So kind of pick your spots when it comes to what kind of context to provide in your introduction. I'm going to send you you have to bear with me for a second. I'm going to send you this, or I don't know if I'm going to email it to you. I don't know if I gave this to you when we were talking earlier today, but it is a public opinion poll in 1961, and actually it's throughout the 1960s, but they have different questions here. I'm not sure if I gave this to you, but it has like really interesting information, and there's like information specifically about Malcolm X. Like, they asked black folks whether or not he helps black people. They ask questions about Martin Luther King. So this could be an interesting source, and I'll email it to you, and I forget if I printed it out for you earlier today. So that's my feedback. I think you have something interesting with blame going on. I know that you're just kind of starting out here. I think emotion and credibility could work for his speech. You need a reason why you're looking at those two. You kind of need to think why they're so important for the audience that he's kind of trying to appeal to. And you need to specify what audience you want to write about, whether it's the black folks that are there in the room at the time, whether or not it's a broader audience, not broader, but like an audience that wasn't necessarily in the room, but that he was thinking about, like white folks or government officials. Like, who are you going to be writing about as far as like the standpoint of how persuasive was he? You need to think about his particular standpoint when you're trying to gauge that. All right, that's my feedback. Good chatting with you earlier today. I hope you got home safely. No fishtails, and I'll talk to you soon.